My name is Pragati Misra and today I am present with a new topic which is known as linear differential equation of higher order with constant coefficients. This equation is of higher order because you can see the order of the highest order, the order of the derivative is n here. This is the highest order derivative. Okay, so this is why I am calling it higher order differential equation, and this is linear because the degree of each term is 1 here. So the differential equation of the form a0 dn by dxn plus a1 dn minus 1 by dxn minus 1 plus a2 dn minus 2 y by dxn minus 2 plus and so on an of y is equal to q is called a linear differential equation of higher order with constant coefficients. Why we are calling it as a linear differential equation of higher order with constant coefficients? Because you can see these terms, that is the coefficients of the derivatives are a constant here. That is, we can say that a0, a1, a2 and so on an are constants and q is the function of x only, or it may be a constant as well. So this type of differential equation is known as linear differential equation of n order with constant coefficients. This is of nth order differential equation because you can see the highest order derivative is n. Now we can write ddx as d as well. In that case the equation got reduced into this form because this is of degree n. So this becomes a0 dn plus a1 d raised to power n minus 1 plus a2 dn minus 2 and so on an y is equal to q. So this equation can be written in this form as well. Okay, and now you can see a0, a1, a2 and so on an are all constants, and in that case this function is just the function of d only. So we can write it as the function of d into y is equal to q. Now in order to find the complete complementary function, before complementary function, I want to tell you that how to write the complete solution for any differential equation which is given in this form. So the complete solution is the sum of two terms which are known as complementary function and particular integral. I want to show you that complete solution is given by y is equal to cf. Cf means complementary function and pi is particular integral. So firstly I will discuss in today's video complementary function, and in my next videos I will discuss the particular integral. So what is complementary function and how to determine it for any given differential equation? I want to tell you that firstly I have to write the auxiliary equation for the given differential equation, and this is nothing but the nth degree of polynomial. Why I am taking nth degree of polynomial? Because the where n is what? This is the highest degree of the given polynomial. So, and I will write this polynomial in the variable m because since we will put d is equal to m in each case, and then we find the polynomial in the variable m, and then we solve them and find the root of that polynomial, and with that root I will write the complementary function. So if we put d is equal to m, so this equation got reduced into the form a0 m raised to power n plus a1 m raised to power n minus 1 plus a2 m raised to power n minus 2 plus and so on an is equal to 0. In this way we can write the auxiliary equation for any given differential equation which is present in the form linear differential equation with constant coefficients. Suppose its roots are n roots because this is nth degree polynomial, so it must have n roots. So suppose its roots are m1, m2 and so on mn. Now there are some cases which arises in this auxiliary equation because this is just a polynomial. Its roots can be real as well as complex as well as irrational. So it may be anything. So for each case, for each root, that is if it is real and distinct, or it is when it is imaginary, or when it is irrational, we will discuss for each case a different case. Okay, that is, we discuss for each number a different case. Okay, so I am going to take the case number 1. So this is our working rule to find the complementary function, or in short we can say it CF. So our case 1 is when all the roots of auxiliary equation are real. If all the roots of auxiliary equation are real and distinct, that is, they are not equal, in that case, how to write the CF for the given differential equation? I will tell you, and then I will take one example to show how to apply this method on any differential equation. So our case 1 is when all the roots of auxiliary equation are real and distinct. Suppose we have n roots because we have taken nth degree polynomial, and the equation and the roots of this equation are of form m1 is not equal to m2 is not equal to, and so on, not equal to mn. That is, they are in distinct and real. In that case, we will write the CF of y as, that is, c1 e raised to power m1x plus c2 e raised to power m2x plus and so on cn e raised to power mnx. So in this way we can write the CF for the differential equation which have real and distinct roots. So I am going to take one example. Suppose this is the differential equation. So firstly, as I told you in the method that how to write the CF, firstly we will put dy by dx is equal to m, because if we do not put it, then we cannot find the auxiliary equation. So firstly we will put dy by dx is equal to m, and in that case the auxiliary equation becomes m cube. Since if we are putting dy by dx is equal to m, then this becomes m cube. So our auxiliary equation is m cube minus 7m minus 6 is equal to 0. Now we will try to find the root of this equation. So this becomes, since you can see minus 1 satisfies this equation, so minus 1 must be a root of this equation. So we can write it as m cube plus m square minus m square minus m minus 6m minus 6 is equal to 0. Now if I take m square as common in this term, then I will get m plus 1. Now we can take minus m from here as common, so minus m, and this gives me m plus 1, and if we take minus 6 as common, this gives me m plus 1 is equal to 0. Now you can see m plus 1, m plus 1, m plus 1 are common in each term, so we can take it as common again. So this gives me m square minus m minus 6 is equal to 0, and then we will factorize it, and then we can find the solution in this form. You can easily factorize it, so I'm not going to waste the time to tell you that how to factorize it, okay? So in this way we got the three values of this polynomial, and that are minus 1, minus 2 and 3. And if you can see that they are real as well as distinct, so we can apply the case number 1 to find the CF of the differential equation. So if we write it in this form, then it must be of this form: CF of y is equal to c1 e raised to power m1x plus c2 e raised to power m2x plus c3 e raised to power m3x. So you can see our m1 is minus 1, our m2 is minus 2, and m3 is equal to 3. And since the RHS of this equation is 0, and when the RHS is equal to 0, then CF is the complete solution for the given differential equation. We have no need of any particular integral to write the complete solution when RHS is 0. So this must be solution, that is, the CF is the solution for this differential equation. So the complete solution for this differential equation is y is equal to c1 e raised to power minus x, because the value of m1 is minus 1, plus c2 e raised to power minus 2x, because m2 is minus 2, plus c3 e raised to power 3x, since m3 is equal to 3. So this is the solution for the first example. Now I am going to take the case second, that is when the roots are equal, when two roots are equal. Suppose you have nth roots for the nth degree polynomial in which two roots are equal and others are distinct. Then how to solve or how to apply the CF method for that equation? We will see this. So this is our case second, that is when two roots of auxiliary equation are equal and real. That is, the roots are real, but from all the nth roots, there are two roots which are equal in that auxiliary equation. Then how to write the CF in that case? In that case, the CF will be c1 plus c2x e raised to power m1x, because m1 and m2 both are equal, others are distinct but they are equal. In that case, we can write the CF in this way, plus, and for others, because all others are distinct, so we will apply the previous method in this case as well. So we will write the same pattern as we have written in our earlier case. So plus c3 e raised to power m3x plus c4 e raised to power m4x and so on cn e raised to power mnx. So the only distinction is that since two roots are equal, so we will apply this method to write the CF in this case. So I am going to take one example to show that how to apply this method on any differential equation. So this is our next example, and if I write the auxiliary equation for this differential equation, then we will put again dy by dx is equal to m. In that case this becomes m square plus 4m plus 4 is equal to 0, and if I solve it, then this is nothing but simply m plus 2 raised to power 2 is equal to 0, and if we simplify this, then we get two roots for this differential equation, that are minus 2 and minus 2. Now you can see there are two roots of this differential equation and both are equal. In that case we can apply the case second here. So if I apply the case second here, then CF of y is equal to what? C1 plus C2x into e raised to power mx. Since m1 and m2 both are equal, and I am taking it as m, and that is equal to minus 2 in this case, so I can put m is equal to minus 2 here. So our complete solution is C1 plus C2x into e raised to power minus 2x. This is our complete solution because the RHS is 0 again. Okay, so this is the complete solution for this differential equation. Now I am going to take the case number 3 in which three roots are equal. That is, we see the case when the three roots are equal in a differential in the auxiliary equation of a differential equation. Then how to find the CF for that differential equation. So we will see the case number 3. When three roots of auxiliary equation are equal, in that case how to find the CF for that differential equation. So suppose I have nth degree polynomial in the variable m. In that case when three roots are equal and other roots are distinct and all are real. You have to remember that all the roots are real, but yes, three of them are equal. In that case, how to find the CF for that differential equation? So in that case, CF of y is equal to C1 plus C2x plus C3x square e raised to power m1x plus C4 e raised to power m4x plus and so on Cn e raised to power mnx. That is, for these three roots we will apply some different method, and for the others the previous method is sufficient. So you can see this. In this way we can write the CF for this differential equation. So I am going to take one example to show that how to apply this method on any differential equation. So this is our example: d cube plus 3t square plus 3d plus 1 of y is equal to 0. So as I told you that ddx is equivalent to d. So I can write it as d, and d can be put as m as well, because we were putting dy by dx is equal to m of y. So here we can put m as well. So the auxiliary equation in this case is m cube plus 3m square, since we are putting d is equal to m. So this differential equation got reduced into the form of auxiliary equation, and that can be written as m cube plus 3m square plus 3m plus 1 is equal to 0. If I simplify then this is simply m plus 1 raised to power 3 is equal to 0. And if we solve it, then we can get three roots and all are equal. You can see all are equal. In that case, how to write the CF for this differential equation? Then CF of y in this case must be C1 plus C2x plus C3x square e raised to power mx. As m is equal to minus 1 in this case, we can see this, so we can put it here. So if we put m is equal to minus 1, so it takes the form C1 plus C2x plus C3x square into e raised to power minus x. I hope you are understanding. Because this is so easy, so I don't want to waste your time to discuss these things. So now I am going to take our case number 4. In our earlier cases, that is in case 1, case 2, case 3, we were discussing about the differential equation when its roots are real. And now we will discuss if the roots are imaginary, then how to find the CF for any differential equation. So our case 4 is: If roots are imaginary, that is they are of form m is equal to alpha plus minus I beta. This is complex number, as you know that alpha is the real part of any complex number and beta is the imaginary part. So in this case, how to write the CF? CF is equal to in this case e raised to power real part of your complex number, that is alpha into x into C1 cos beta into x. This is imaginary part. So firstly you have to find the root and then put the value of real part here and imaginary part in this side. Okay, so the CF is e raised to power alpha x into C1 cos beta x plus C2 sin beta x. If the roots are imaginary, then we can apply this method. Now suppose you have an equation in which you are getting repeated complex roots. Then how to find the CF in that case? I will tell you this method in this case. Okay. So CF is equal to e raised to power alpha x. In this case, when you are getting repeated complex roots, in that case you can find the CF with this method, e raised to power alpha x C1 plus C2x. This method is also applied in the real roots as well, but there was no cos beta x and sin beta x because they were real. And here we are taking complex roots, so we will apply this method. So C1 plus C2x cos beta x plus C3 plus C4x sin beta x. In this way, we can find the CF when you are getting repeated complex roots. So I am going to take one example for the equation when roots are imaginary. So this is this is the example for this case. Okay. So our differential equation is d raised to power 4 minus n raised to power 4 into y is equal to 0. So firstly we write the auxiliary equation for this differential equation. So our auxiliary equation is, we will put d is equal to m. In that case it becomes m raised to power 4 minus n raised to power 4 is equal to 0. So if I write, then I can write it as m square minus n square into m square plus n square by the formula of a square minus b square. And if I apply again that formula here, then we get m minus n, m plus n. And yes, this plus can be written as minus I square because minus I square, the value of I square is what? This is minus 1 and minus minus becomes plus. So we can write it as, I am writing it in this way since we can easily apply the formula of a square minus b square here. Okay, so I hope you are not confused. So I am going to apply the formula. So it becomes m minus n, m plus n, and I can apply the formula of a square minus b square here. So it becomes m plus in, m minus in is equal to 0. Now we are getting two real roots and two complex roots. As you can see that we are getting the 4 values of m since it was the polynomial of degree 4. So we are getting 4 roots. So m is equal to plus minus n. This is the real root because there is no imaginary part here. And this is our complex root in which the real part is 0 and the complex part, that is imaginary part, is n here. So if I want to write the CF for this differential equation, so I have written it here. You can see that the CF for the real roots, we will write the CF in the same manner as we have written earlier. So C1 e raised to power nx plus C2 e raised to power minus nx, as I discussed in the case 1. But for the complex roots, we have to apply this case. Okay, so I'm going to apply this case. So you can see that our root has real part as 0. So we will put it here, C3, sorry, here C3 is not present here. I will take C3 here and C4 here. So you can see that e raised to power 0 into x into C3 cos nx, because our real part was 0. So I am taking it here at 0. C3 cos nx plus C4 sin nx. So this is the CF for this differential equation. Now I am going to take one example when to show that when the complex roots are repeated, then how to write the CF for any differential equation. So this is our example If I write the auxiliary equation for this differential equation, then we put d is equal to m again, then it becomes m square minus 2m plus 5 raised to power 2 is equal to 0. Now you can see this, the factorization of this polynomial is not possible, so we will apply this method to solve this differential equation, or to find the root of this equation. So I am going to apply the method. You can see here b is minus 2, a is 1 and c is 5. So I am going to put the values. So it becomes minus 2 plus minus under root of minus 2 raised to power 2 minus 4 into 1 into 5, because this is the value of a and this is the value of c, and upon 2a. A is 1, so I am going to put it. I have solved it easily. Now you can see that 4 minus 20 becomes minus 16, and when it come outside the root, it will give me an imaginary value, that is 4i, because the square root of 16 is 4. So after simplifying, we are getting that m is equal to 1 plus minus 2i. So you can see the real part of the complex root is 1 and the imaginary part is 2. Since you can see that there are 2 power on the whole polynomial, so we will get the same complex root for 2 times. So here we are getting the repeated complex roots and both are equal. So our m1 is 1 plus minus 2i. And m2 is also 1 plus minus 2i. Now you can see these are 2 roots, because one root are for positive value and one root is for negative value. So you can see there are 4 roots. So we have no need to write it m1 or m2. These are simply just the roots, okay? And there are 4 roots and all are complex, and 2 repeated complex roots are obtained here. So how to write the CF for this differential equation? I want to tell you. So our CF is e raised to power x. Since our real part is 1, so we will put here e raised to power 1 into x, so e raised to power x simply, into c1 plus c2x, because the roots are repeated, complex roots are repeated also. So c1 plus c2x cos 2x plus c3 plus c4x sin 2x, because our imaginary part is 2. And if you see the working rule in the case 4, then you can find that how I write this, okay? So I hope you are understanding. Now I am going to discuss that when the roots are irrational, then how to write the CF for any differential equation, okay? So I am going to take the case number 5. So this is our case number 5. When the roots are given in this form, that is, you can see that the one root is real and other is irrational. That is, all are real, because you know that the real number is the union of rationals and irrationals. So you can say that if the roots are present in this form, then how to write the CF for that differential equation? In that case, CF becomes e raised to power alpha x, that is this part of the root, and then c1 cos hyperbolic root beta x, root beta, that is this part, x, plus c2 sin hyperbolic root beta into x. In this way we can write the CF for any differential equation if the roots are coming in this form. So I am going to take one example to show that how to apply this method on any differential equation. So this is our example. Now you can see this is d square minus 4d plus 1, and we cannot find the roots for this differential equation by factorization method. So I am going to apply the method minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac by 2a. Okay, so I am going to apply the method. You can easily see the value of a is 1, b is minus 4 and c is 1 here. So after putting, I am getting this value, and you can easily put it. So I am not going to tell you that how I write this. Okay, so m is equal to 4 plus minus under root 16 minus 4 upon 2. If I simplify this, then this gives me 12, and 12 can be written as 2 root 3. So after simplifying, I got the value of m as 2 plus minus root 3. If I compare it with this, then alpha is 2. If I write it as alpha plus minus root beta, then alpha is 2 and beta is root 3. So for this, CF is equal to y e raised to power alpha x, and our alpha is 2. So So e raised to power 2x c1 cos hyperbolic beta, root beta, and our root beta is root 3. So root 3x plus c2 sine hyperbolic root beta is again root 3. So root 3 into x. So this was the CF for this differential equation. So I have completed all the 5 cases to determine the CF, that is complementary function for any differential equation. I hope you understand. If you have any problem with any case, you can ask me in the comment section. I hope you are liking my content. If you are liking my content, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.